Chapter 9, Electric Dipole, and the video is presented by myself, Nagaraj, Government Women's College, Sagar. You might have seen a bar magnet. A bar magnet consists of two poles, North Pole and South Pole. And these poles have some strength. They have some pole strengths. Poles are of equal strength and opposite nature. North Pole and South Poles are of different nature. And they are separated by some distance also. At the end of the bar magnets, we have two poles, North Pole and South Pole of equal strength. And the poles are separated by some distance. This bar magnet is actually called a magnetic dipole. Dipole means two poles, dipoles, two poles. Bar magnet can be called as a magnetic dipole. Similarly, in electrostatics, we have an electric dipole. An electric dipole is a pair of two equal and opposite charges. Magnitude Q and Q, nature minus plus. Two equal and opposite charges with some separation. This system is called a dipole, electric dipole. From the center, one charge is at distance A and other charge is also at distance A. The total distance is written as 2A. This electric dipole concept is useful because in some atoms or in molecules, naturally there exists electric dipoles. Atoms and molecules behaves as electric dipoles. For example, hydrogen atom, it's the simplest element, simplest atom, which contain only a proton and an electron. Proton is in nucleus and electron is outside the nucleus. There is some gap. Proton and electron have equal magnitude of charge and opposite nature. Proton is positive, electron is negative, and there is some separation. Therefore, hydrogen atom itself is an electric dipole. Molecules and atoms showing electric dipole properties have useful applications and different properties. For a dipole, we take an axis, that is dipole axis. Dipole axis is considered from minus charge to plus charge. Dipole axis is considered from minus charge to plus charge. For a dipole moment, we define a physical quantity called dipole moment. Dipole moment is a vector and its magnitude is 2A into Q. 2A means separation between the charges. Q is magnitude of one of the charges. Dipole moment magnitude is equal to separation between the charges into magnitude of one of the charges, 2AQ. Distance and charge, therefore unit is coulomb meter. Dipole moment vector direction is taken along the axis of the dipole. Axis of the dipole and dipole moment are in the same direction. Dipole moment direction is along the dipole axis. Dipole axis is from minus charge to plus charge. Here is an electric dipole, minus Q plus Q with a separation of 2A distance. Actually, both the charges, that is minus charge and plus charge, they are producing their own electric fields in the surrounding region. If you put a dipole here, in the surrounding region, both the charges produce electric fields, and these two fields superpose and give a net electric field. Therefore, around a dipole, we have an electric field, which is combined electric field due to both the charges. At each point in this electric field, we can calculate electric field intensity and also electric potential. field intensity and field potential. Dipole and dipole field. In the dipole field, at every point, we can define electric intensity as well as electric potential. Let us choose a point Q, which is at a distance smaller from center of the dipole. This is a line joining center of the dipole and the point chosen. This is external point Q. Center of the dipole is joined to this point along this in this line. This distance is smaller. Minus charge is at R2 distance from Q. Plus charge is at distance R1 from Q. Plus Q is at R1 distance and minus Q is at R2 distance. First, let us find potential at Q. Potential at Q. Potential at Q, actually, it is the net potential due to the potential due to individual charges. Potential, actually, this minus Q and plus Q are point charges. Plus Q is a point charge and it is at a distance R1 from Q. Therefore, potential of plus Q at Q, capital Q, which is at a distance R1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by R1. This is the potential due to plus Q charge. Similarly, potential due to minus Q charge is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into minus Q by R2. There are two potentials. And we are adding those two potentials. When we add them, we get this expression. This minus sign, we are adding actually potentials, but in this expression, we are getting minus because the potential due to minus charge is negative. Therefore, when you sum the two potential, this will be the expression. Okay. Here, distance R1 and R2 can be expressed in terms of R. R1 and R2 can be expressed in terms of R. R is actually distance from the center of the dipole to the point Q. Draw a perpendicular from plus Q charge to this line. When you draw this perpendicular line, the line segment from Q to here is equal to R1. Q to B is R1. When you draw a perpendicular up to here, then this distance, this length is also equal to R1. This distance also equal to R1. Okay. In this small triangle, before that, theta is the angle from dipole axis to the line joining the center of the point and point. Center of the dipole and point. Theta is the angle between the axis of the dipole and the line joining the center of the dipole and the point. Theta is the angle. So when you draw perpendicular here, you get a small triangle. In this triangle, this side is actually the adjacent side. That adjacent side can be written as A cos theta. This is A. This side is equal to A cos theta. So the total distance is small r. And when this r is subtracted by A cos theta, then you will get this much of length. In the total r, if you subtract the A cos theta, then you will get this line segment. This line segment is equal to R1. Therefore, R1 is equal to total R minus A cos theta. R1 is equal to total R minus A cos theta. Similarly, R2 can also be expressed in terms of R. Here, extend the line joining the point and center of dipole. Extend the line. Then draw a perpendicular from minus Q to this line. Then you will get a similar triangle. In the triangle, this is the adjacent side. This is also equal to a cos theta. This is also equal to a cos theta. Here, this is R2 distance. And from Q up to this point, we have extended and drawn a perpendicular. And this distance is also equal to R2. R2 is also equal to this line segment. Then here R is up to center, and further a cos theta. R plus a cos theta gives R2 distance. This R plus a cos theta gives R2 distance. R1 is equal to R minus a cos theta. R2 is equal to R plus a cos theta. In the potential expression, replace R1 and R2 by R minus a cos theta and R plus a cos theta. And after simplification, you get this expression. Here, we are making an approximation. See, R is the distance from center of dipole to the external point. We can choose external point anywhere. Anywhere we can choose external point. Therefore, R can be of any value. Now, A is the distance of charge from center of the dipole. Actually, the total dipole length, dipoles actually arise in atoms or in molecules. Within the atoms, there will be dipoles. Within the molecules, there will be dipoles. Therefore, separation between the charges is very less in terms of some angstrom. Size of an atom, size of a molecule, they are in angstroms. Therefore, separation between the charges, there is the dipole length is in angstroms. This is very small length. Total dipole length is very small. And half of that is A, that will be still smaller. Therefore, we can make an approximation that this R is large when compared to A. R square is much greater than A square. We can neglect the term containing A square. So remaining term is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2aq cos theta by R square. 2aq is nothing but the dipole moment P. 2aq is equal to P. Finally, potential V is equal to P cos theta by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. This is the net potential at point Q. Now, we will proceed to find electric field at the same point Q. For that, recall this expression. Electric field at a point is equal to negative gradient of potential at that point. If you know the potential at some point, and if you take negative of the gradient of that potential at that point, then you will get electric field. We have calculated potential V at the point Q. If you take negative gradient of this potential, then you will get the electric field at the same point. Okay. E is equal to minus grad V. This is a relation between field and potential. See this expression. This is the expression for del. Del in terms of Cartesian coordinate system. Two-dimensional case. Therefore, only two terms are written. Expression for del in Cartesian coordinate system is delta by delta x into I plus delta by delta y into j. Here in this discussion, we are not using Cartesian coordinate system. We are using these two coordinates. One is r, and other is theta. This r and theta are called polar coordinates. R and theta are called polar coordinates. To locate this external point Q, we are using r and theta. From the dipole axis, you go up to theta degree, and then you move up to r distance. Then you will get point Q. Q is a function of r and theta. r and theta are polar coordinates. In the polar coordinates, expression for del is delta by delta r into r cap plus 1 by r into delta by delta theta into theta cap. These two are the components. This is the expression for del. Remembering this expression for del, let us find the del of V. Del of V means gradient of potential. Operate potential by this del. Take del and operate it on V. That is nothing but the gradient of the potential. Let us operate this del on this potential and then apply minus sign also. Minus del V. While applying this del on this potential, let us apply del on V in separate components, in separate terms, Let us find the gradient of the potential in two separate components. Here, the first component of the del is delta by delta r, and let us take only the magnitude. Therefore, the radial component ER is equal to minus delta by delta r or d by dr of V. Minus first component minus delta by delta r or minus d by dr of V. This is first component of the gradient of the potential. Let us what it says. Differentiate the potential function with respect to r. Differentiate potential function with respect to r. After differentiation, you will get this much: 2p cos theta by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. Similarly, let us find the perpendicular component of the electric field. ER is the radial component of electric field, and second component, that is E theta component. E theta component is perpendicular to radial component. Second component of the second component of the del is 1 by r into delta by delta theta. If you consider only the magnitude, the second component of the del, then del is equal to 1 by r into delta by delta theta. Therefore, E theta is equal to minus of 1 by r into d by d theta of potential, second component of the gradient. Take the potential expression and differentiate the potential expression with respect to theta. After this differentiation, you get E theta is equal to P sin theta divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube. Okay. Let us go back to the figure. Here, ER is in radial direction. And E theta is perpendicular to this radial direction, transverse component of the electric field. The sum of these two components gives the net electric field. Sum of these two components gives the net electric field. You may imagine a parallelogram here. By taking E theta and ER as adjacent sides. Imagine a parallelogram here. Then the diagonal drawn from the same point is the sum of ER and E theta. E is the net electric field at Q. E is equal to sum of ER plus E theta. And the magnitude of this electric field, net electric field, E is equal to root of ER square plus E theta square. That gives E is equal to P by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube into root of 1 plus 3 cos square theta. This is the net electric field. Okay. The net electric field is 5 degree from radial component. ER is the radial component, and from radial component, the net electric field is at 5 degree. In this triangle, if you take tan phi, that will be opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side is E theta, adjacent side is ER. Tan phi is equal to E theta by ER. Tan phi is equal to opposite side by adjacent side, that is E theta divided by ER. Phi gives the direction of net electric field. Phi is the angle from radial component of electric field, or phi is the angle from the line joining the center of the dipole and the point. This is a line joining center of the dipole and the point Q. From that line, net electric field is at a degree phi. Tan phi is equal to E theta by ER. Divide E theta by ER. That gives tan phi is equal to half tan theta. Divide E theta by ER. After division, you will get tan phi is equal to half tan theta, or phi is equal to tan inverse of half tan theta. This phi gives the direction of the net electric field. Let us consider some special cases. At a point along the axis of dipole, the external point Q is taken along the dipole axis, maybe at some distance. This is dipole axis. On the dipole axis direction, you take the external point. Then, line joining the center of the dipole and the external point is parallel to dipole axis. If you consider the external point along the dipole axis, then line joining the center of the dipole and the external point is parallel to dipole axis. Then the angle between dipole axis and the line joining the center and external point theta will be 0. Theta becomes 0. Axial line, theta becomes 0. Put theta is equal to 0 in potential expression and field expression. Then you will get potential and field at an axial point. Okay. This is magnitude of potential and electric field. Then the direction of field, to find the direction of electric field, put theta is equal to 0 in this expression. For the phi expression, phi gives the direction of net field. You put theta is equal to 0. If you put theta is equal to 0, then phi will also be 0. Phi becomes 0. That is, the direction of the field is along the axis of the dipole or along the dipole moment. Dipole axis or dipole moment. Field will be in the direction of dipole axis or in the dipole moment direction. Next, consider another case. This is now we are taking the external point on equatorial line. Equatorial line means a line perpendicular to dipole axis and passing through its center is called equatorial line. This is center of the dipole. You imagine a perpendicular line to the dipole axis and through the center. Draw a perpendicular line through the center. Then that line is called equatorial line. Equatorial line is a line which is perpendicular to dipole axis and passing through the dipole center. Now, let us consider external point on this equatorial line. Now, the angle between axis of dipole and the line joining the center and external point, which is a perpendicular line, is 90 degrees. From the dipole axis, this line joining center and external point will be angle 90 degree. So theta is equal to 90 degree. Put theta is equal to 90 degree in the expressions for potential and field. Then you will get potential is equal to 0 and field is equal to P by 4 pi epsilon naught into R cube. For direction of the field, you put theta is equal to 0 degree in this expression for phi. Putting theta is equal to 0 degree in this expression, you will get phi is equal to 180 degree. Phi is equal to 180 degree. Then you will get Actually, phi, this is not 90 degree. Phi will be 90 degree. Then the direction of the field is anti-parallel to dipole axis or opposite to dipole moment. That is, on the equatorial line, field will be opposite to dipole axis or dipole moment. When you consider electric field, you must think of the direction also, magnitude as well as direction. It's a vector quantity. How much is the field and in which direction it is pointing? We have to note both the things. And one more point. Here, this is the field on the axial line. This is the field on the equatorial line. For the same value of R, field on the axial line is double the field on the equatorial line. For the same value of R, field on the axial line is equal to 2 times the field on equatorial line. Okay, let me end the session here. Thank you for listening.